Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm James Zamero here at SwitchWatch. It's Sunday, that time of the week where we scout the eShops to find the best bargains on offer. As we approach Black Friday and the Christmas period, the number of great eShop sales has tailed off this week. That said, there are still some good bargains to be had. Let's jump in and take a look. Kicking things off with my pick of the week, a cyberpunk dungeon crawler with turn-based battles. Sounds like a perfect mix. Robothorium sees you playing as robots fighting for freedom against evil corporations that have oppressed your kind. A nice backstory, but the gameplay is where this kind of game lives or dies. And it's in the battle system where this title performs. Raiding dungeons, obtaining loot, and taking on enemies is fun to play. The Switch is a great home for turn-based games like this. It's not perfect, the difficulty curve is not quite right, leaning towards the easy side as things progress, and there are a few performance issues. Plus, the graphics are nothing to write home about, but at 90% off, it's a fantastic bargain. Juan, what's your pick this week?
Some slim pickings this week, James. However, I've managed to find a real bargain here in the UK. It's called The Bridge, reduced from £8.99 to just £1.34, a massive 85% off. And if you just want to take a day or an evening to relax, The Bridge is a nice logic puzzle game where you can manipulate gravity to redefine the ceiling as the floor while venturing through impossible architectures. Really interesting, and there's 48 thought-provoking puzzles, and each are pretty unique. I remember reviewing this one about a year ago and remembering how enjoyable it was. So if you're looking for a little puzzler just to waste an evening away, then you could do a lot worse than The Bridge. A really good little game, and I do love the art style also. Ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I'll see you next week.
Many thanks, Juan. That's our picks of the week, but of course there are many other great deals to be had. Axiom VERGE is quite simply one of the best games on the Nintendo Switch. A 2D Metroidvania platformer that's inspired by the greats, but stands tall on its own 2 feet. The story is brilliant, reminiscent of classics like Another World, and playing this brings back all of those fond memories of Metroid. From the pixelated art and retro soundtrack to the world's design and boss battles, what it does is balance that nostalgia without weighing itself down in the little things we often forget about, dodgy controls or issues for example. If you've not picked this game up already, then you are missing out on a masterpiece, and even if you have it on other platforms, it's a joy to play on the move. Though it has only 15% off, any discount is a bonus, definitely one not to miss. The Long Reach takes its cues from the likes of Lone Survivor. This is a side-scrolling adventure horror game with lovely art. It is spooky and is impressive as a first game from an indie developer. If you enjoy classic point-and-click adventure titles, then you will likely enjoy this. It's a short adventure, and as a game from a first-time developer, it's a bit rough around the edges, but at this discount, it's definitely worth a look. The Touhou kobuto series is known for its bullet hell shmups. In this title, it goes a radically different way. We have a quirky spin-off fighter that lets you play as a number of characters from the series in short campaigns and through arcade mode. The game is rather straightforward, and it's not the best fighter, but its main problem when it was released originally was the cost. With 2/3 off, fans of the series, or those looking for a simple pick-up-and-play multiplayer fighter, might feel it's worth having a look. Penguin Wars is a reboot of a classic arcade title and aims to recreate that frantic, fast-paced arcade experience. Its gameplay is simple to play, but difficult to master. A solid experience in solo play, but it really does shine in multiplayer. The cost was high at release, but on sale, it's one to take a look at. Another Metroidvania, and this time it's Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight. The 4th title in this series, the game looks and feels like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This is a short experience that will take around 5 hours to complete. It features tight controls and polished audio and visuals. Its competition in this space is very tough, but if you fancy another title like this, then it has 20% off right now. Growing up, I have fond memories of Konami's classic Track and Field, a button-bashing series of competitive minigames. Many other titles followed, but it's this original classic that Super Sportmatchen aimed to recreate. Everything from the retro graphics to the three-letter names you choose oozes the NES era. Just like those games, it's not really that fun to play solo, it's all about competing against your mates locally. Some of the games are really fun, whilst others are not as good. Overall, it's a nice party title that has a huge 90% off of it at the moment. Human Fall Flat is a silly, physics-based game that sets you up for slapstick laughs. It will tickle you with the funny situations you end up in. You play as a Play-Doh basic character, and for its short campaign, it's fun but wears off after some time. There is local co-op to extend the giggles, and the developer has added online multiplayer, a welcome addition.
Lay siege to a medieval for teen.
Torchlight II is an action RPG in the same vein as the Diablo series, and just like Diablo 3, it has that one more run feel about it. You somehow find yourself going back, looking for more loot, better gear, and all the rest that you already know. Yes, it's a lot cheaper than Diablo, so if you're looking for a second game to fill that void, or if you just don't want to dish out the bucks for Diablo 3, then you might want to give this one a go, as it now has 20% off. A solid title that you can get lots of hours out of. As well as the ones we've just covered, there are a number of games on sale ending on Monday. Some we covered last week, but there are 3 worth bringing up now that we have not yet covered. If you're watching this before then, you'll have to be quick to pick them up though. The first of these is KATANA Zero, a game that Juan reviewed and really loved. The style of this is brilliant. It's a one-slash-kill game that demands precision. Everything about this game is fantastic, from its style, to its audio, to the story, and of course, its gameplay. If you're not familiar with this one, then you can check out Juan's review by clicking up at the top right-hand corner of your screen. HOTLINE Miami Collection brings the extremely violent, highly regarded original indie title and its more disappointing sequel together and ports them onto the Nintendo Switch. There are very few games that are more violent than these two. The brutal gameplay is bonkers and unique, as well as tough and unforgiving. Simply put, this is hardcore, gruesome murder that's a blast and a laugh to play. In Ape Out, you play as, well, an ape as you try to escape from whichever level that you're in at the time. It plays brilliantly. It feels a little bit like a twin-stick shooter in terms of the controls, except you're running and dashing and throwing people around as you try to escape. It has such great personality and character. It's all geared towards this one goal in a good way. The game is really tight and it knows what it's trying to achieve. And there you have it, folks. These are the bargains worth considering this week. Let us know down below what your pick of the week is. I'll be back next Sunday with more bargains from the Nintendo eShop. Have a great week and I'll see you then. Take care.